immediate manifesting tip, pro tip, if you will. And I want to specify you don't. This doesn't have to be used on person stuff. And I definitely recommend go back and look at like some like I think there's a divine nugget called when you want it really bad. Refocus, because that's where you start on things like this. But the next step, or sometimes this could be the first step, I don't know, do it in whatever order you feel called to. This one's a little trickier because we humans oftentimes can get stuck on a specific person that we want. And if you're in the twin flame journey and you know who your twin is, it's likely them. Or it can be, I mean, even if you know your twin, but you're not getting along with your twin, and you're doing all sorts of triggers, you might get your eyes set on a soulmate or a karmic or something else. And for one thing, I want to specify don't do magic to get anybody. Manifestation is enough of a magic of its own, but it's different. And I love that it takes the healthy, emotionally secure approach every time. And that's beautiful because you don't want to force somebody into your vibration. You want them to want to come into your vibration. And so this tip is a fun one. So let's say in or out of twin flame journeys, you really want a specific person. But every time you manifest them in, they're not ready. Or they're in the third party, or they're with some, or you're the third party, they were with someone before you, or they're too immature, they're over focused on their work, or whatever challenges it is. And let's say you've done other things to help be ready to manifest them, and you've worked on your vibe, and you've been leveling up and glowing up and stuff. And I don't know about you, but for me, I can easily manifest my person into my vibration. It's not hard. It's really not hard. Though when I manifest him in and he is not ready, or not, well, I'm not going to say not ready. When he's still in a different part of his healing journey than I am on mine, then we clash. And then what is it, as Abraham says, like, whereas I had an open circuit and everything's been running good and my vibes are doing well, and things are going well, pleasantly, and then I bump up against him when he's in a, let's say, part of his circuit is closed off, and then we jam into each other and we each get a shock, and it's not fun. Then and that's when triggers happen, and then triggers happen and you go through new healing and new contrast and new things like that. Well, let's say that you're at a point where you still want your specific person, but you're kind of done with the shocks, right? You're good with the triggers and you don't want to do that anymore. Well, the next step is to get back to where you start, which is making your own emotions your priority, right? How you feel is the most important thing. And not in an unempathetic way, like you care about how they feel too, but sometimes you have to step back and recognize that sometimes it's easier to love someone at a distance. Sometimes it's easier to manifest a specific person when they are not right in front of you. I think that's part of why, specifically with twin flames, it's so important to fall in love with the 5D journey. You don't have to have the actual person right there. That's the irony, that we end up learning that the physical manifestation of our love, of our soulmate, of our twin flame, however you want to call it, is really not that important. Yes, it feels like it's important, and that's where the problems often get in, is that we feel like if we don't have that 3D manifestation of the person that we want right there, or even, like, say you don't know who your person is, like, not having that somebody right there next to you can feel like you have lack. And therein is the problem, is that as long as you feel like, I'm going to say, as long as you are observing lack, whether it's my person's not ready, or my person's immature, or my person's not here, or I don't know who my person is, or my person's wrapped up with other things, as long as you're observing that, that's what you're going to hold in place. You can't will it to go away if you're observing it. It's like the watch pot never boils, or trying to watch paint dry. It seems to just stay wet and wet and wet, and the more you check it, it still seems wet. But if you leave it alone and you just come back to it in a day or so, lo and behold, it's dry. you know? And the funny thing is, I love how, like, quantum physics is really, like, proving that theory too. Because if you look at the bosons, just observing them changes them, just completely changes them. And for me, that's enough confirmation that that's exactly what happens. When you look at a cloud, it changes shapes. When you watch paint dry, it doesn't dry. When you watch a kettle boil, it doesn't boil. When you watch grass grow, it doesn't grow, right? But when you're not looking, you got weeds everywhere in the yard, and the kettle is whistling before you had time to go to the bathroom, and the paint is already dry and ready for another layer, right? So it kind of works that same way. When you want a specific person or specific thing, stop and, well, just stop. Stop observing what they're doing. And also get into a place. Here's the other part of it. You want to stop observing them in a faithful way, in a good way. You want to have it be in your mind and your imaginings that you already have them. They're already there. You already have all that you need. You can give yourself anything that you would like from them in 3D. And you want to get to a place where there isn't a wanting for them. We're always going to be wanting for something. So you got to find some other project, some other thing that you like to do, some other things that you want and that you want passionately, and focus on that stuff. And in the background, whomever this person is, or if it's a thing, or if it's a person you don't know yet, just have it in the background that they're already there with you. Like there are like once you get practiced enough at knowing they're there in the 5D and really allowing in like telepathic thoughts and things like that, and you just enjoy playing with it, like just embrace the absurdity of it. Who cares if it's real or not real? What matters is, do you feel it is real? Once you feel it is real, then you can be in a comfortable place to where you can separate the difference between your feelings and other people's feelings and telepathic feelings and thoughts and things like that. And then you start to see other things manifest that you had been working on. This is part of why it's so important to have multiple things that you're manifesting. That's the whole blue glass of butterflies thing. And once you get to that point, if the person that you really want to come in, whether you know them or not, is not there, then stop observing that they're not there. Start observing how they are there, how they've already affected your heart, what memories you have with them, or what, and then think about what memories you want to make with them. Like really start kind of allowing yourself to play with designing that moment when they come in, and then the moments after that, and the months after that, and the years after that. Let yourself really kind of fantasize about where it goes. And then you'll hit a point where you'll kind of laugh because they'll likely feel that and come in, and they might not be ready again. And when you hold your boundary because they're not ready, and you recognize that how you feel about them is the most important thing, and how you feel about yourself is the most important thing, they're going to be a little weirded out, going, wait a minute, like, even if they don't understand manifestation or twin flame journey or anything, they're going to know that you want them. They're going to have felt it. And the better you get at doing tips like this, the more they're going to feel it, the more signs they're going to see, because that which you seek seeks you, and they want it too. Whether you've met them or not, it's going to draw them in, because you're neither pushing nor pulling. And but that's going to, they're still on their healing journey. So if the person comes in and they're not ready yet, don't observe that. Just know that that's a sign that they're getting ready. They're getting ready to be ready, and all you need to do is be ready to be ready. And it doesn't matter how long that takes, because when you're genuinely happy with your solo journey, you can have fun no matter how much time passes or what things happen. And you can be happily driving in your car on your way to work, or if you do like DoorDash or something, doing work like that, or you can be doodling. It doesn't really matter what you're doing. You can have it in the back of your mind that you have this happy vibration going on about this relationship, this union, this dynamic with either the specific person that you know, or a specific energy of a person that you know is coming in or that you want to come in. And the more you get practiced at that, the less that you feel the lack or the missingness of anything. And then either the person will come in themselves and they will be a match towards the vibration of them that you have in your mind and your heart, or you'll attract in somebody who's okay in the meantime to help you stay consistent in that vibration. And you're not going to feel like you have to like jump into it or jump out of it or block them off or anything, because you're open to love. You're open to yourself and you feel confident in your ability to go in and out of various situations. And you feel good about where your mind is at, where your heart is at. You get that true like lover's card thing where your head and your heart are aligned and you're following your heart and you feel good about it. And so if you want a specific person, whether it's a person that you know and or have interacted with, or it's just the energy of a specific person that you're waiting to meet or waiting to have them come in, stop worrying about the 3D manifestation. Just get into a place where you already feel like delighted by the energy that you have, and just enjoy it, even if it's for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 5 days or 10 days or whatever it is. Whenever it comes in, just say, you know what, I enjoy this feeling right now. And keep practicing that. And the more you get into that, the more you'll get out of the old vibration of like, oh, they're not here yet. What am I doing wrong? What do I need to heal? Or, oh, here they are, but they're not ready. They're feisty, or they're this, or they're that. Don't worry about that stuff. Just worry about how you feel. And make sure that how you feel most of the time it's good about yourself, about the life that you have around you, because the more you can get to a space of feeling like you don't need anything, the more you get all the stuff that you used to think that you needed. It really does work like that. All right, I'm gonna leave this nugget here. 11:50 just passed by on the clock, so or 7 right there. So once you can master this, you'll have many, many victories coming towards you. Also, I'll see you in the next video.